Hey there, this is Sore Throat Malorian, and we're here with a double battle report. So both of the games will be up against the same vampire counts list. It's one based off of, a mounted vampire lord. He's the one there in red. In the middle, there's a white king, and there's also another vampire. You can see him there in the second row because of the full command here. First game, I'm going to be using my wood elves, and second game will be my dwarves. So in the first game here, we got Blood and Glory. Luckily for both of us, we have an okay amount of banners. Now on his side, from left to right, he has some zombies, some dogs, a Vargulf, a big unit of skeletons, zombies in the back. Then he has his big bus of Black Knights with his characters, his Hex Wraiths, and then more of his Dire Hounds there. For my part, I'm just going to tell you what I have in general. I have 3 units of 10 Glade Riders with Banner Musician, 3 units of 5 Glade Riders, 4 units of 10 Glade Guard, units of the Hawk, the 3 Hawk Riders, whatever, the Eagle, and then 2 units of 5 Way Watchers. And then I have a level 4 and a BSB. And stupid me, I forgot to bring my rule book. So for lore, I'm just going to take the Wood Elf lore. So why not? I don't take these guys often, and it's a pretty crappy lore, I gotta say. But hey, why not? She also has a ruby ring. So really looking at this, of course, this is that MSU I'm talking about. All I want to do is run around and shoot. Was really happy to see he didn't have a Terrorgeist or a bunch of Banshees or something like that. So I do have some very fast elements I have to worry about in his list. That'd be his Hex Wraiths that I can only deal with magic. So between the magic missile from the Wood Elf lore and the Fireball ring, and then also my Hail of Doom, that's going to have to take care of that unit. Otherwise, I really want to punch some holes in those dogs quick so I can, take those fast units off the board. Also opens up a lot of room for myself. Really avoid those knights unless I get lucky. And then probably just shoot down the Vargulfs and go for the win from there. And this is kind of just a little close-up here of my characters. And again, normally if I was running this list, I'd be taking the Lore of Life. And then I could be healing my guys back up and doing Dwellers. But, whatever. It's always good to have a lore full of half the spells that don't even help me. So after my first turn, my main objective was going to be to take out those 2 units of dogs, the Dire Hounds or whatever, and then also do a couple of magic missiles to the Hex Wraiths. And if that did okay, then Hail of Doom it. Well, the shooting was rolling pretty poorly, especially against the dogs on the right, so I really didn't do too much. They probably will just charge the Way Watchers, and if they do, I'll probably just beat them in combat. But he stopped my 1 magic missile. I got through the Fireball, only killed 1 Hex Wraith, so I could have done the Hail of Doom this turn, but instead I just shot at the Vargulf and did nothing. So, whatever. On his turn here, these Dire Wolves charge into the Way Watchers. And these guys are just skirmishers, but I have a good initiative, so I'll go first. I have 2 attacks, a good weapon skill, so I should be able just to win this. And over here, he tried charging with the 2. I started finally rolling okay, and I shot down the dogs before they even got to me with stand and shoot. Otherwise, over here, now this was bad because he basically just moves up his lines, no other charges, and all he has for magic is 2 level 1s. So he has Invocation and he has Spirit Leech. Well, he Spirit Leeches my level 4, gets Irresistible, and then rolls enough to kill me. I have no ward, no nothing. So just like that, my general's down. I'm down like 318 points, plus the general thing as well, so 418 points. So for the whole attrition thing, that's really bad. However, the good news is, though, that because it was an irresistible force, that means he has a miscast, and he blows up a good chunk of his unit here. So all of a sudden now, I can at least try and get my points back by killing this unit. So he is way ahead in points right now, but I have a pretty good start on killing these guys. And the good news is, too, once I kill the regular knights, well, then my Way Watchers with their killing blow can start taking out the characters. So after his turn, it looks like this. You can see his Vargulfs are in my face. He has the skeletons in the swamp there, the marsh, which is actually, killed some of his guys because he failed an initiative test. But for the most part, I think he kind of pushed up too much, and he didn't really keep his lines together. I mean, really, once that dog unit disappeared on the left, that opened a huge hole. We can definitely see where now I can just run through and get behind him on the right, and I can also be in a pretty good pocket on the left side where I'm behind his Vargolf. The zombies and the skeletons can't see me, and the zombies in the back could be a very far charge. So on my turn over here, I basically do that. I pass my march block, get behind him, release the Hail of Doom, and I kill all but one of the Hex Wraiths. Now, it would have been nice to kill them all, but, when there's just one of these guys, I can always finish him off by a charge and do combat res. So this guy, that's fine. I'm fine with this. Otherwise, I get some pretty good rolls going, and I killed the other Vargolf. By the way, yes, I did kill the other dogs on the far right. And right here, you can kind of see that all my stuff really moved out of the way. And with all the shooting into the knights, he is now down to just one knight and his 3 characters. He rolled really crappy for some of his saves here. So all of a sudden, he's 1 wound away from losing all the points for the knights. He's already lost 1 Vargolf. I have already got behind his lines. So really, on his next turn, I mean, his Hex Wraith can start going over and doing 1 attack, but that's really it. And he can try and Spirit Leech my BSB for some points. But after that, that's really all he has going for him. And clearly, I'm going to throw all my dice against it. So at this point, we look at it, we talk about it, and we say, yeah, this is really over. Because even though he's ahead a lot in those points, I'm going to start making that back plus some. And, we have time for another game if we start now. So he waved the white flag, and that's a win for the Wood Elves. So, woohoo! It's just one of those things where if you have this mobile army, Wood Elves aren't crazy. They're not going to kill anybody in combat, but that's a lot of arrows, and I can pick you down, especially if you don't have a lot of missiles or, archers or something like that to shoot back. So now I pull out the Dwarves, and we're still up against the same vampires. And now this game here is going to be the dawn attack, but I tell you, when I picked sides and then rolled for mine, it almost couldn't be better. Really, the only way I would have done this differently is I would have had another Dragon Slayer off on the right side to stop and guard that cannon. But man, this worked out so nice. I didn't roll a single 1. I didn't even roll a single 6. This just all went just perfectly. And so I'm all based around this one building here. And yeah, man, what can I say? This is a perfect castle. Either way, I am running a Rune Lord with an anvil. I got the BSB there. I have the 40 warriors with shields, 40 with great weapons, 20 quarrelers, 20 miners that'll be coming on, 2 organ guns, 2 cannons, and a grudge thrower. And he has the same army. So really at this one here, man, if the Wood Elves could do some damage with shooting, these guys can do even more so. So I'm going to have to be careful with the Hex Wraiths, but, I have the Anvil that could do the magical, Wrath and Ruin and do some damage. My BSB has a magical weapon, so he can always deal with him. And apart from that, I can just shoot to hell his main knight unit there, and he'll be in a lot of trouble. So we might have to restart this game again. We'll have to see. So I get the first turn, and one of my cannons explodes. I do hit this unit with the Hex, or with the Wrath and Ruin, so I kill 2, and more importantly, they're also half speed. Otherwise, it looks like this. So I totally wipe out one of the units of dogs that vanguarded up with my organ guns. Other shooting went, and it killed 4 of the dogs from the other unit. My warriors moved over so they can't charge past and get to the cannon. And, yeah, I dropped a grudge thrower onto his knights. That killed 4 of them, so that was pretty great. And, yeah, it's already looking pretty good for me. So on his first turn here, he goes and he charges my warriors. This is going to be kind of suicidal, but you might as well. And with that combat, yeah, I just beat him and he crumbles. Otherwise, he's moving up. He's making sure to stay behind that building because, well, actually, the building's not doing too much for him other than the cannon. So that's pretty nice to protect him there. But otherwise, he had nothing to do. He kind of moves up here. and that's the best he can do. So on my turn, I'm left trying to decide. If you're looking at this picture here, there is a Slayer that you can see up there already. I could move up the Slayer to redirect, or I could move back with the Slayer, hit the Knight unit with the Wrath and Ruin, and then make it so that it'll be pretty hard for him to charge me. He'll take dangerous terrain from going through the wall. So I really had to decide which way to go with that. And in the end, I decided to go for the Wrath and Ruin. So with all my shooting and stuff, yeah, these guys really took a beating. So he's down to just his command and his 3 characters. And other than that, all the Black Knights got toasted. So as you can see here, like I said, I kind of just more pulled back. All the shooting really went there. And yeah, that's really it for my turn 2. And his turn, he has his Vargolf go into the building, do my stand shoot, nothing happens. But he gets the 10, and he goes into my Dwarves here with great weapons. And this is going to be bad because he is a Blender Lord, and this guy is just going to tear me apart. So once this happened, like I knew I was kind of playing the numbers, but you know, I should have taken the safer way and just put up the Slayer to redirect. The reason why I didn't is because I didn't want him to try and find some way. Because remember, I can only move 6 inches. So maybe with some cunning wheeling, he could find a way that he just overrun into me anyway. So I tried for this, but what can you do, right? So after his turn there, you can see that he killed 6 of the Quarrelers, and then I held. Otherwise, you can see his stuff moved up. And man, in that combat, that's brutal because I'm -1 leadership. One of my guys has to re-roll the hit. Anybody touching the White King is always strike last, which I am anyway. But I also don't get the strength bonus from the weapon, so that sucks. And I also don't get a re-roll from my BSB, who you can see there is trying to make his way over. In his magic phase, he tried to Spirit Leech him, but I stopped it. And yeah, I mean, I killed all but 1 of the Black Knights, so I almost got those points. But man, those guys are just so killy. So on my turn, what I do is I start sending over the warriors, and what their plan is to do is to charge the Vargolf after I shoot it. So basically you shoot it up and then use the anvil to charge. But with all my shooting, I actually killed the Vargolf, so okay, whatever. I'm moving over a Slayer to try and help. And otherwise, yeah, that's really it. I hit the Hex Wraiths then with the Grudge Thor, I believe, this turn, or maybe it was well, either way, I hit it with the Wrath and Ruin. So they're going to be half speed. They're almost dead. And in combat, I killed the last Black Knight, and I'm still holding. On his turn, he charges in here with the Vargolf, and that's going to hurt. But because he doesn't have at least, the 5 guys, he has no rank. So as long as I have 5 guys, I'll be steadfast. And that's what I end up with. And it's dicey too. Even when you're steadfast, I'm not getting a reroll, and I'm only leadership 8 because I'm -1. So that's pretty dangerous stuff. I do hold, but yeah, I actually was thinking I really would have loved for these guys to break, because if they would have broke, the Vargolf might have overran into something good, but otherwise I could have shot these guys with all the war machines and they would have been toast. So that's unfortunate, but whatever. And yeah, hopefully I can come in here and start doing some damage. So I charge over the 1 naked Dragon Slayer into the flank, and I also bring over the warriors and use the anvil to charge them in here. So now, if nothing else, I should lock these guys down. I might get lucky, might start crumbling them, but either way, having that Slayer, unless he dedicates attacks to him, I know he'll be unbreakable and hold him in place. Also, a nice Grudge Sword shot went and wiped out the rest of the Hex Wraiths. So nice to have them off the board. And, oh, this was so bad. So, basically, the lore goes and just wipes out all 5 of the Great Weapon guys. Okay, whatever. Then I go and I attack with my, little crappy guys and the little naked Dragon Slayer who took a wound from the hero vampire. And I do nothing to him. Like, of course, the dwarves or shields probably won't do anything. But I had 3 great weapon attacks. I should do 1 wound. But either way, I thought I'd win. But he actually, I forgot that White King is a BSB. So he won by 1. my dwarves break, so they're running all the way over there, and those zombies will just be right there ready to charge them. And luckily, I have the Dragon Slayer there who's unbreakable to hold them up. But man, this is falling apart pretty quick here now. So on his turn, he charges with the zombies. I don't roll very far, but he rolls really high, catches that unit, completely wipes it out. So that's a ton of points going down. And he also charges his Vargolf into my BSB. Now, that's not too bad, because if he can hold them up, what I have lined up here is that when he kills the Slayer, he'll just be standing there, and I can shoot him with 2 organ guns, a grudge thrower, and a cannon, because there's still a cannon in the bottom right here. So if I can score all those points from the characters, I might be okay. However, some stuff happens. So, of course, the Slayer dies, and then we get into kind of a weird situation where he attacks my BSB. He has a 1+ save. I fail my armor saves. I die. But the real weird thing here is the whole idea where the war machines have no base. So the way it looked to me is that he'd overrun into my grudge thrower, and that's okay because I can then still shoot with my other stuff. But he wanted to overrun into the organ gun. And really, if he moves forward, he touches one of those crew guys. I believe the crew guys just count as like a wound marker, but it's one of these things, it's like, you know, they don't really clearly define these things. It really sucks the way it is with War Machines right now. And really, if this is how he wanted to overrun, he could have just positioned his Vargolf that way anyway. So whatever, if that's the way he wants to go, he can. But now he's blocking my cannon, so that's no good. So my turn, I do my best to try and shoot his characters, but my grudge thrower scatters off, even with the reroll. The organ gun does like 1 wound, and yeah, after everything's said and done, all I had was my quarrelers that failed the panic test and ran out of the building after he destroyed an organ gun. So, yeah, just getting worse. So on his turn, his characters charge the organ gun, the zombies come after the grudge thrower, and the Vargolf comes after the anvil. Then when he destroys the organ gun, he overruns into the anvil, so now his lord, with his whatever, super strength and red fury, is just going to kick my butt. And that's what happens. Yeah, the anvil is now gone. I was able to hold up the zombies. On my turn, the Slayer charges in here, but there isn't too much I can do, especially after my grudge thrower fails its stubborn test and runs away. He also even did a wound to my Slayer. And then on his turn, his Lord charges my Slayer, his Vargolf charges the cannon, and both are destroyed. So really, the Vampire Lord was victorious. He was able to fight through the odds. And really, I think that, you know, this is actually pretty good. Because if we would have rewound this tape, and if he would have failed the charge, and I would have just shot down this unit, it would have been another kind of a bummer of a game. At least with this, it was a real kind of grind. It would have been good if I could have had something go and kill one of these characters or something, but either way, they were victorious. And it wasn't until after that we realized my bloody miners. I completely forgot about them, because normally I have them at the side, but because the side was kind of full, I put it behind me on the shelf, and it looks like my miners are checking out War Machine instead. So, whatever. But either way, it was a lot of fun, and I hope you like watching. Bye.